more lore. In this week's episode of More Lore, we're going to be talking about some more lessons from the Book of Abramelin. And we talked about that in this week's episode, season 11, episode 20, Don't Call Me Shirley. So go back and listen to the whole episode if you want to get the intro to that. So these things are what the magician Abraham learned from, with and without the use of the Kabbalah. So these are things this is Kabbalistic magic. So you don't have to do, if you listen to our episode, we talked about an 18-month ritual that you had to do in order to do magic in that one. You don't have to do that in this one, but you do have to, there's some other things, but you don't have to be a Sandy Whaley person, right?
That's good.
Okay. So what we're going to talk about is some of the, I'm going to say, I don't know if you would call them spells. This is, again, this is an Abrahamic religion, so they don't tend to say things are spells. Sometimes they're more like prayers or, but I think they're spells. Okay, so the first chapter is for serious diseases. And the first thing we learn is to fight against plague. So when there is a serious plague in the land, in the morning before sunrise, collect 7 kinds of wood from 7 different parts of the land. And then you bring them together in the center of the lands. You write the words, Adonai Zeboath, have mercy on us, on pure wax. Then you sprinkle incense powder, the recipe is in book 3, chapter 11, over the wax plaque to totally cover the wax. You lay this on top of the wood, and under an open sky, you burn it to ash. You leave it untouched until after sunset. Then you take it and you throw it toward the 7 places from which the wood came. So you have to know which ways the wood came from. And then you have a phrase that you say continuously as that happens. So that will keep there from being serious plague in your land, which if I could talk would also be helpful. All right. So in this chapter, we also learn how to cure cancer and other open injuries, how to reduce all kinds of diseases, and a general blessing for all sicknesses and occasions. And for that one, he who wears the following words written on gold or silver or pure wax on his bare body all day long on the Sabbath is secure from sickness, sorceries, and other evil if he does not violate the commandments of God. And there is a pretty big, decent paragraph that you write on yourself. And so again, on your bare body, I'm not sure if you put clothes on over it afterwards. It's not clear. That chapter also has a spell for dangerous occurrences in secret places. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Now, does that mean to have dangerous occurrence in secret places or to avoid them? So these are what the instructions say. So the instructions say to take a 7-sided sheet of copper. Now, first off, that sounds very difficult to make.
Yes.
And before sunrise, you prick into it, send again the ark of the God of Israel to the right place so that he does not destroy it. And then you besmoke it for 7 days. And after every incensing, wash the copper with running water in which you have measured camphor and salt. With this water, wash the secret place. And then you say some words on that. And so somehow that will help you either have dangerous occurrences in secret places or not. Again, not sure. This again. So another recipe in here is for heartache and depression. There's one for impaired ears and eyes that involves writing words in mother's milk from a woman who gave birth to a son 7 days before. So you've got to keep a lot of women around. If you're looking for someone who is specifically doing 7 days before, that's a thing. And you have to get enough to write like a whole sentence onto a sheet of 10 of copper. So you got to be like pumping that boob.
Yeah.
Boob magic. All right. In chapter 2, it talks about antagonisms and war. And so these are different things that will help you out with battles and conflicts, right? So the first one is so that your friend can conquer his enemy, so that you can help your friend out. The second one is so you can conquer your own enemy in a battle. The third one is to make your enemies unlucky, which I kind of like because I feel like that's less violent. So maybe it kind of cartoony, right?
Like it.
So like your enemies are just tripping on stuff. And to do do that one, after sunset, you write on an iron plate with lead the words. So you got some lead here. Don't lick it. Try to avoid doing that. And then you write, bad luck will fall on your head and spite cover your head. And then you besmoke the plate and you repeat 7 times a prayer. And then your enemy will trip and fall, hopefully. There's also a recipe to revive exhausted troops. Then we can go into chapter 3, which is for friendship, marriage, and love affairs. The first spell recipe, whatever we're calling it, is to make an unbreakable friendship for 2 people. Oh, that's so sweet. And with that one, you have to bake a cake and you write their names on it. And then I think they eat the cake together. They do. That's very nice. I like that. There's cake.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just want to do that with my friends anyways.
Right.
Like, let's go.
That's how you make good friends, right? There is to make undying friendship between husband and wife. There is one for a successful marriage, one for fertility, which I'm not sure quite works. So over a glass of almond milk, throw a little fine incense. Read over the glass Psalm 113 7 times, and you give it to the woman to drink. Do this for 7 mornings before breakfast. Also, on the first day, hang a gold, silver, or pure beeswax tablet on her. The tablet is besmoked, and you write a prayer on one side, on both sides, and then she should be fertile. There is a one so that a man will love his wife. So if a woman is doing this, this is what she does. Before sunrise, the wife should take a new incense burner and place in it 7 newly lit coals. Place it under a fruiting apple tree. So this only works in the fall. You spread incense on it. You go to running water and you wash your face and hands. We're going back to the cleanliness thing. You write the words below with a gold or copper stylus on pure beeswax. Ooh, fancy. Then you throw it on the coals. When it has burned away, you pick the nicest apple that has been well smoked and you give it to the man to eat. And then the words, like an apple tree between wild trees, so is my friend among the young men. If the apples are not ready, do the same with flowers or with the apple blossoms and give it to the man to smell. Okay, so we don't have to do this with fall. We can get flowers, but I think the apple works better. And then so that if you want to reverse it, if you're a man and you want the wife to love you, then you do that with roses instead. There is a recipe for a woman to excite a man. So before sunrise, you pick a wine grape leaf and write on it with a mixture of honey and myrrh the words below, my beloved is mine and I am his. He grazes under the roses until the day cools and the shadows lengthen. Besmoke the leaf. Oh, wait, first you have to add your name and his name. Okay, so you write the words on it, you add your name, you add his name, you besmoke the leaf. You pick a newly opened rose in the morning before it has been touched by the sun's rays. Then you pulverize it. So you smash that rose down, and then you sprinkle it over the besmoked leaf. Then you let him smell it, and this will awaken his affection in his heart before the end of the day. Don't let him see you smashing the rose. He may have questions.
Oh. Yes.
See, the fourth chapter is for birthing. And again, I'm not sure Abramelin had the best ideas for this one. So for help with a dangerous birth, on a belt or strip of white wool's lambskin, you write the words below, besmoke it and tie it around the stomach directly on the skin. She will deliver within several hours. And it says, look, God, the children are ready for birth and there is not enough strength for the delivery if you do not help. I don't like the fact that it starts with the look. Look, God.
Look, God. Like, we gotta talk.
We gotta talk. The children are ready, and she is not strong enough. I also don't know. Like, please get this lamb's wool off me. I'm trying to give birth here.
It seems like that's like a very like casual and aggressive way to address God.
Yes, look, God.
Look.
So chapter 5 is against water, fire, tempest, ghosts, and the devil. There is a spell for against tempest, ghosts, and visions prepared by evil people. One against bad weather and continual rain. One that evil people and magic cannot damage your house. one so that a drought does no harm. Texas needs that one. So with that one, we have to get some clay or brick tiles, as many as you have fields. We've got a lot of fields. And then you wash them before sunrise with running water. You take an olive or an almond twig and you dip it in good almond or olive oil and write on the tiles, besmoke them, and then you bury them before sunrise. And then rain should come immediately. That's nice. There is protection against bewitchment. One, to put out fires started by evil people and spirits. To do this, you stretch out your right hand towards the fire and you speak some words. Then you spit 7 times towards the fire and it will disappear immediately. You have a lot of spit for 7 times.
Did you just put it out with your spit?
I think so. But also that's a lot. How do you spit 7 times? Like, I'd have to have some water around.
Your mouth would be so dry.
Right.
Yeah.
Chapter 6, I think, is very useful. The first one is to burst open cliffs and stone in times of need. So if you were chased by an enemy, and this is also very cartoony. So if you're being chased by an enemy and you cannot proceed because a steep cliff is in front of you, you call to 3 times to God. And then with outstretched hands, you hit the cliff and you say some words, and then the mighty wonders of God will open up the cliff for you. But you have to make sure that you follow the second commandment of God, which is don't make a graven image or an idol. So don't do that, and the cliff will open. Okay. There is a helpful spell for if you're locked between iron doors by an enemy. It is nice. Chapter 7 is protecting houses and buildings from earthquake and thunder. That's very helpful. Chapter 8 addresses courts and potentates, which includes such helpful things as how to get a favor from an important person. Ooh, to go before court. Maybe I should do this before jury duty so I can try and get out of that. All right. For this one, we have to bake an unleavened bread before sunrise. How do you bake unleavened bread? I guess it just doesn't rise. All right, and then you write on it with honey the words below, and then you eat it. And then you wash your face 7 times with water but has not been exposed to the sun. And you go confidently to the judge. Your mouth will speak to his ear, but the word of God will go to his heart. And you get to eat bread with honey, which is good. And chapter 9 is for in times of hunger and starvation, and it tells you how to make some bread that you can survive on for 49 days, which is pretty cool. And the last one in here, and the last one we'll have is to make oneself invisible to one's enemies. And this is something that we talked about in the episode. We talked about how Aleister Crowley used a lot of this magic to influence his stuff. And he once, walked around London without any clothes on and in his hotel and told everyone he was invisible. So this is, I think, probably where that may have came from. So to disappear from the sight of an enemy. During your flight, remove your left shoe. Circle it 7 times around your face and your head. Then you face your enemy and in the air, strike out against him 7 times while speaking. And then there's a prayer to say, and then you will disappear. So or your enemy just goes.
Shake it in their direction 7 times.
Yeah. And your enemy is also just like, what the fuck is happening? I'm just going to go now.
Yeah. Agreed. So, I'd be like, nope, I'm out.
So those are some extra recipes or spells, whatever you want to say, for spooky season, just to help you guys get yourself through. Again, we didn't do our disclaimer. Any attempt to perform these are performed at your own risk. And Devil's Trap Podcast is not responsible for the outcome, lack of outcome, or any results, atrophies, or chaotic manifestations that occur.
Correct.
And again, we still don't know how to end these more lore episodes. So cheers, jerk, maybe.
Cheers, bitch. Spooky season.